Alright, it is 12:30 Monday, day one of the gauge project. Here, as you can see, we've rerun this. Hold on a second here. Alright. We've rerun this. This, like I said before, goes way back up in there, down to the other front side of the house to drain to the sewer. Now this did run back behind this wall right up against the joist plate, joist rim for the outside of the house, and came back to get to the center of this floor here. And so we cut this out, this section here, and then reran this over and up, cutting out that 45 that was in our way. So now that we have these cut out of here, if you notice, when we put our drain on there, we've got quite a bit of distance between the floor and the drain. Now, the reason for this is because this elbow here is way high up against the subflooring, because it has to run clear to the other side of the house before it can drop. And so this particular drain is very high off the floor compared to most drains. Most drains are, you know, a couple inches lower. Now we're going to have to make up that couple inches by actually pouring our pan thicker and raise our pan up. Now one of the things that's going to help us is, since we have these holes here, we're going to go ahead and lay a new subfloor right over top of this 3/4 inch tongue groove, even though there will be no tongues and no grooves, since we're only talking about a 4x3 area here. And so with that, we'll sure this up a lot, and with this off right here, we can drop this board, cut a hole just for this here, drop that board right over top of this, and then this drain will be held well, not only by this block that I've added here to support this T here that goes up to our drain, but on top of that we'll have a whole new subfloor that will support that. Now the other thing I did, well, in the meantime, between, I don't know, 11 and 12:30 now here, is to rerun this faucet. Now here's our old faucet. And as you can see, this faucet's a tad bit shorter than this one, so we had to, or not quite as wide, I'll say. You had to jog this over to this side. The other thing I did was measure up off of the top of this drain here, that's on here, to find out exactly where the center of this faucet was going to be. And the reason why I did that was to make sure that the tile, the points on the diagonals, that one of the points lands fairly close, or hopefully right on the money, to that spot right there. That way we don't have to cut a hole in the middle of a tile. And so, the one last thing I want to show you is, this is a Moen faucet here. Moen. And all Moens are pretty much the same, in that they've got this little doohickey. Now this is called the faucet mixer valve. The mixer valve. And a lot of times there's this same exact valve and set up here. Let's make sure. Woo, that thing's still kind of hot, so I'm not going to put it in there quite yet. But this slides in to this hole here, and you want to make sure that hot and cold mark, I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn this light off. This hot and cold mark right there goes up. Because if you flip it upside down and you put it in wrong, the hot will come out the cold and the cold out the hot. So now the reason why I left our shower head line off there is because we are going to rip off the rest of this drywall right to the ceiling, and we're going to run cement board right to the ceiling for our shower. And so once we rip this off, I'm most likely going to readjust this to as well come out in a spot that we want in the grout lines of the tile instead of the center of the tile, because that's a much easier hole to cut than in the middle of the tile. So we're going to go ahead and sweat that here in just a little while. So plumbing detoured and faucet in. Now I'm going to go downstairs here and I'm going to show you the material package we got, just so you can see what that looks like.